Hey guys, this is the quarantine edition of the Hot Seat with NAYAONFIYA, me. And today we have an athlete, used to be a track and field athlete for Chico State, um, found rugby and ended up on the field with me and a lot of my other USA Rugby teammates. I've seen her play a good amount of times. One of the things you'll notice first about her is that she's very fast. The second thing you'll notice is that she's very tiny. And the third thing you'll notice is that she's brolic as hell. So she's like a little machine that just goes, goes, goes. And she's becoming a great rugby player. I've been able to watch the start of her journey and the potential that she has. So I'm very excited to see how far she goes and how much of an effect I can have on her while I'm here. But further ado, we have Kayla Lawson. Hi, Kayla. Say hi to the
Hi.
camera. How old are
Hello.
you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
25. I just turned 25 end of
Okay.
May, so.
Okay, so you're just 1 year younger than me. I don't know why I thought you was younger than that, but whatever. So I don't know if you've watched any of the hot seats before, but one of the first things we start with, just to get to know our guests a little better, is for them to tell us 5 things that they would want people to know about them if you could only know 5 things. So what are your 5 things?
Ooh, okay. 5 things. Um, my grandparents and my aunt are like very big parts of my life. So I was raised by my grandparents mostly. Um, I really love movies. I have like a weird obsession with like shoes.
Don't
Yeah,
we all?
my bank account was like, please stop. Um, I have, I think like I'll laugh at almost anything, but my humor is just like, I'll never get offended, and I love bantering with people. And my last one would be I have a master's degree. What's this?
In
Sports management.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, what did you get your bachelor's in sports management as well?
I got it in business and an emphasis in project management, but I just like had a bunch of internships and like jobs in like corporate America, and I realized there was something missing. I wasn't passionate, and I was kind of like, I was like miserable basically. And then I was like, there's something missing, and it's sports, because I just love being in it, either if I'm playing in it or working in it. So I decided to go like get an extra piece of paper to show that, you know, I'm qualified, I guess.
Nice. And then you said that you love watching movies. What is your favorite movie?
Interstellar. I guess that could have been one of my top 5. I am like a big space person. Like I love
Oh,
like
okay.
everything about space. I'm like such a nerd, but Interstellar is about just the Earth is no longer able to sustain all the people on it, and they found these different planets and universes to potentially live on. So they have to go and explore and see which one's suitable for the people that are going to leave Earth. So, but it's a really good movie. I think you should watch it. It's like 3 hours, but
Is that the movie with what's the lady character? What's her name? Is she in Princess Diary? Is that
Mhm.
lady? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I've
She's oh
seen like promos of it, but I've never watched the movie, so I have to watch it.
yeah, her
But
character makes me mad, but you'll like it.
okay. And also on Netflix, there's this show called 100 Days. Have you heard of that?
Yes, where they send the wait, is it the
Yeah.
one where they send the kids down?
Yeah. Have you
Hmm.
watched that?
Oh yeah, I was like,
Okay.
could there be more seasons? Have you seen it?
I've seen like maybe 6 or 7 episodes. My sister tried to get me to watch it, but I couldn't stick to it.
Uh, it gets
But
good though.
yeah, and I love The Office, but the guy from The Office, the main guy, he just started some new season called Space Cadet, I think. Cause
I
do you
just
like The Office?
I so everyone hates me because I was like, I've never watched The Office, so I need to actually like spend time to watch The Office since we have so much time. But I used to be like a
Yeah.
huge Friends like junkie, so I will need to. I'll make that on my bucket list. Start watching The Office, but
And try to watch Space Cadet too, because he started that, and that's all about like space and stuff. But it's like
okay,
The Office, but in space. It's pretty funny.
okay, I'm gonna watch that then too.
Okay, cool. So that's 5 things to know about Kayla. So now we're going to go into the base questions. They're a little more in detail, so just take your time with them and give your best response. So my first question for you is, so you talked about how you were in the business world and you felt like you were missing something to be passionate about. Why rugby versus like track and field? Because from what I know, you're pretty fast and probably could be competitive in the professional realm of track and field. So why rugby versus any other sport?
So like it even starts from just like my grandfather. He played 15s for South Africa, so he's a Springbok, and that's always been like since I was able to even remember anything. It's always been rugby, 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 and it's how I was raised and grew up and was always watching. But like I just like track and field is individual sport, and there is team components, but like there's just something about like there's 7 of us or 15 of us on the field, and we're just like grinding it out and duking it out like with each other to like beat the other team. And it's just like I don't know what it is, just something about like literally putting like your whole body on the line for each other. And it's just like something I wish that I had started playing sooner and earlier, because
Yeah.
like it's just, well, you know how it is. It's just like
Hmm.
it's so magical, even like if the match doesn't go your way, like, but especially when it does, like just knowing that like every single person like on field, on bench, and even back home has like contributed. And it's just I don't know. I love it, and there's just so many components to it. You know, track was like, okay, you're in your blocks, and like gun goes off, and you're literally running to a line, and you're done. Like
Yeah.
people are kicking, people are poaching balls. Like we have lineouts and scrums. Like even like the ball goes backwards, but you can kick it forward. Like it's just so much you can get better at. So I really like how you can, because in track, like the only way to get faster is to run. And the
Yeah.
only way to get, so it's like rugby, there's so many different components. Like you can become the best kicker in the world. You can become the best, chip and chaser, the best, the fastest. You can have the best stiff arm. Like, so there's just so many places, I think, too, for different types of athletes to be on the
Yeah.
field. So
Yeah.
I love it though.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Okay, next question. Wait, on that, did you start with 15s or you started with sevens?
So in 2015, I had hip surgery I had hip surgery in 2018, and then 2019 in January, I went out with the Surfers and played like two social games with 15. So like, I don't know like how that, like if that counts, but like two social games with them. And then it was really great. Scion gave me a shot in for LA Sevens. And then so technically like, my first like real match and like tournament was in March of 2019 with Scion. So
Okay,
yeah.
that was recent.
Yeah.
I feel like you've been here longer than you had.
I know. Like and all people are like, you just started, and I was like, but it's just like it just shows like the community and like the people around you, because like I've developed so fast, and it's because of all of you guys and like
Yeah.
the coaches and stuff. So it just shows that I'm around really good players.
Okay, next question. So, being in the professional rugby environment realm, being at the center around all these competitive, sometimes friendly, sometimes not, depending on the day, depending on the time of the day, we're all human. How has being in that environment affected your confidence? Has it been up and down some days? Has it just rocketed it to the sky, or has it brought you down from what you used to be? What is your thoughts on that?
So like when I first got brought, I guess when I played at nationals in 2019, like I had no confidence, and I was just like, I'm just out here running, and I'm just trying to help, and that's always been my biggest thing is like I just want to help the team. So like my biggest like worry was always like letting people down. So like um, that was my biggest issue. Was like I had no confidence, but all I wanted to do was contribute. So that you can't have it both
Yeah,
ways. So like when I got brought out in September, it was tough, because I knew like I was so new, and that I'm playing with like the best players in the world, and like one of the best teams in the world, and I'm like just so when I first got out there, the first few months was so hard. Like my confidence just like ripped to shreds, even though I really didn't have any. So
I
it
feel
was
like
just
that's
like
everybody. That's
it's
everybody.
like, oh god, and it was raining a lot. You were there. It was just it was really tough. But I think when like I started like growing with all of you guys and like getting to know everyone, like my confidence started to go up, because it's just like the little things people say on the field, like this was really good that you did, or you're getting a lot better at this. And it's like, so like at the beginning, like I was just like, just trying to survive. And then in about, I think like around November, December, and like then my confidence started to go up, because it's just like, I could see myself getting better, and like everyone around me was telling me how much I was improving. So like there are, it's like there's days and you're just like, you feel like you're back to square one with some like the fundamentals. But I know like in the spot I'm in now, like I have so much more confidence than I did when I first got brought out. And but it's tough. You know how it is. Like some days you're just like, this is clicking and I'm fantastic and I'm getting better, and the other days you're like I have 2 left feet and feet for hands. So it's very like up and down. But like I said, it's just like the people around you that keep, I think, you going.
Yeah. And it's understandable, because I feel like a lot of us have been through that phase where you come into an environment that it is competitive, and it's not always going to be roses and flowers and butterflies. Like there's going to be some tough days internally and externally with your teammates and your coaches who have these expectations of you. So like I said, we're not human, and there's going to be days where we don't meet those expectations, and we'll be down on ourselves, but there will be days where like we hit a new level. So it's kind of just looking towards the good and kind of just learning from the bad. But yeah, I definitely feel you on all that. I'm sure a lot of people can relate.
Yeah.
So next question, you kind of talked about how you have a master's in sports management, a bachelor's in business. So what were your plans before rugby, before you found rugby? And then what are your plans now after rugby? Do you have plans after rugby?
Yeah, so like when I've always wanted to be an athlete, like, and since I was a kid, and like even in college I was like, after this I want to continue to be an athlete. So I always kind of had it in the back of my mind that I could go to the next level in track. And then rugby was like less, and like some of the people at the center were like, you gotta play, you gotta get out there, like Joe's from the Surfers, like everyone's just like, gotta come play. And so I guess like when I was in college, I was like, I could get like a typical corporate job and do that, but like I knew that I always wanted to be an athlete afterwards. So I mean, yeah, that was always my plan, but like a backup plan was just, going into the corporate realm, or but then when I was deciding my master's, it was always going to go into like the athletics side of things. But I mean, now when I do retire and things like that, I want to be in a front office, or I want to be an athletic director, or I want to be, even how like M's a director at USA Rugby. Like I just want to be able to contribute, because I feel like when athletes are like, if I'm an athlete, I was an athlete and I'm in that position now, like I'm going to fight so much harder for the athletes coming in, because I know how it is,
Yeah.
So it's just like, I just want to get back I always want to get back to the sport. And I think being able to have that plan afterwards and being in it now will help me. But yeah, there's no way I'll be anywhere else but in some front office, or in a university, or even on like somewhere within USOPC. So
we're on the same page.
we
And we
can be
got like,
coworkers. We
yeah,
can be coworkers now and later, teammates and coworkers.
and we're in the environment where we get to network with people who are doing that stuff, and we have chances to like intern under them while we're playing. So the opportunities that they've been creating for us while we're playing and after, shout out to our staff members, Liz and Emily, for working on that. But yeah, them doing that makes what you want to do after rugby a possibility. So that's really good.
Yeah.
And it's also really good to have a plan.
Yes, that's always been my aunt was, ever since I was like a child, it's always been like, okay, you got to make sure that you know what you're doing and you always have a plan. And so I've always just made sure that I have, or at least like if you're passionate about something, it'll direct you. So it's always just like, I always taught myself, oh, you could just get a job and make a comfortable living. But it's just like, if you're not passionate about it, then it's just, there's no point. So I know like when I wake up, I want to be excited to go to work, and I want to be excited to I want to be sad to leave the office, So
yeah. Nice. Okay, so those are our base questions, and next we're gonna go into the speedster round. And in this round, I'm gonna ask you 5 questions, and you just answer them as fast as you can. Whatever is the first answer that comes out your mouth is your answer. Okay? Don't be nervous.
Oh no.
Okay, here we go. First question: what is your favorite city to visit?
Houston.
Nice. I'm going there in 2 weeks for my birthday.
Put me in your suitcase. Sorry.
Next question: what is one of your biggest fears?
Drowning.
Okay. Next question: what is your 40 time, your PR?
4.7.
4.7. That was with less, right?
Mm-hmm.
I need to see that. Was it 40 yards or 40 meters?
Yard.
Okay. Um, Next question: would you rather have more time or more money?
Time.
More time? Shoot, give me the money.
I'll take your money. You give me some.
Okay, last question. Who is your favorite teammate to compete with on the field?
You.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's like, it's always been like, it's great because I remember like very specifically that when you were literally, we were playing against each other and you're like, Kayla, what do you see in front of you? And I'm like, space. Kate, tell her that. Tell her that. Kayla, tell her what you want. Kayla, beat me here. Kayla, hit me here. It's just like always been so encouraging on the other side of the ball. And even when like if we're at like having 3 teams and your team's on the side, can still hear you being like, what do you see? What do you want? Go this way, go that way. So it's just like always good because you always, I have to run like really, really, you're really fast and you're really strong and you have like a 50-foot reach. So it's just, you're, yeah, you give me hell a lot. So it's good. I love it though. Like it makes me a better player like 100 times over. So.
Thank you. I'm glad that you appreciate that. How you said about like giving back, I never really had that coming up. I feel like we didn't really have very vocal wings, just from what I remember. So me doing that for you and for Jazz and Kirsch and Steph and all those, Chris and Chetta, like hoping that once I'm gone, like you're doing the same thing for the girls coming up under you.
Yeah. And it's like also I'm the type of person who's like, who am I to, because I'm new. So it's just like, who am I to be like, I want the ball here and this way and that way. But like being vocal and being like you know what I mean? Being the narrator from the outside is so important. So like I went from not saying a lot to saying so much. And I thought I talked a lot, when I came in. And then when you were like, you have to talk more, you have to do this more. And like knowing when it's like, useful communication and when it's not. So it's just like you've helped me have a voice just like in general, but also like on the outside and in the field. Because I was always just like, should I even say anything? Should I be? But it's nice because I can always hear you wherever you're at, like anywhere probably in the center. So I'm like, it's
Practice
good.
makes perfect. And then they can't say, well, you never told me what. Well, I did.
And I was like, all the rest of us heard her too. So no, it's always good. Like I gotta talk more still, but getting better at it.
It takes practice. It took me a long time to get comfortable with it. And the longer you're here, the more comfortable and the more trust you get from your teammates, the more it'll come easier to you. Because like you said, you kind of feel like you don't have that right when you're new. But fresh eyes are the best eyes, I think, in a new environment. So just keep doing what you're doing.
I will.
So that is the end of this interview. Thank you, Kayla, for joining us. If you can tell us where we can follow you on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, Tinder, wherever you're on.
You're out of control. You are out of control.
And I'll put it right here at the bottom.
So, wait, tell you on this right now?
Yeah.
So on Instagram, it's Kayla_Lawson10. And then on Twitter, it's also Kayla_Lawson10. And then on Facebook, you can just search Kayla Lawson. You should see me on there. Do not have Tinder or any of that.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you, Kayla, again for joining the show. Hopefully, I'll maybe see you this weekend in this hot ass sun in California. But have a great day and so nice talking to you.
You
Peace
too.
out.
Love you.